Hey guys, welcome to another video, and yes, we are talking about the Xiaomi Redmi K20 Pro again. Today we're gonna have a look at the quick install procedure of the latest oxygenos port that is based on the OnePlus 7T Pro, and I did use it for a few days, although I decided not to review it because according to me there are some things which might not qualify this ROM as my daily driver, but some of you wanted to try it nonetheless and requested an installation video. So in this video we are going to install and have a first look at oxygenos for the K20 Pro, which is the Cyberpunk edition. Alright, and I will also tell you some pros and cons of that particular OS. Now, as always, in every install and preview, it goes without saying that you have to make sure that you back up all your information, because our method of installing ROMs is very straightforward. Every single time I go ahead and wipe everything, so you might want to back up your data from the internal storage and make sure you have more than 50% battery. And as I recommend every time, get yourself a pen drive and an OTG cable. That will save you a lot of trouble and increase your convenience. But before we do all of that, if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the notification bell icon so that you get notified every time I upload a video. At the same time, in the description of each and every video, there is a link to our Telegram channel. Go ahead and join us there. And if you think the hard work is worth the effort, please go ahead and join and become an exclusive member and support the channel. Now, without further ado, hello awesome people. Welcome to Smartphone Tutorials. My name is Kailash. Let's get going. So first things first, what do we have here? This is Aero OS with the 69Hz mod, and now I have to say goodbye to it because yes, although I love this ROM as much as everyone else does, I have to keep moving to different ROMs, right? So we will need a few files like the system, the vendor, the kernel, the Magisk. All of that is needed, so that is linked in the description. You can also support the oxygenos developers by going to their Telegram channel. Big hats off to them for all their hard work. But for now, we have everything on this pen drive and we are going to boot into recovery without doing any more talking. So go to restart and go to recovery. Now the recovery that I always use, have been using for months, is Orange Fox. I don't recommend anything else. I mean, other recoveries are fine, but this one is rock solid, and 90% of the time it has worked perfectly fine for me. Okay, so as we are booted into Orange Fox, all right, so now what we will go ahead and do is we will go to wipe dalvik cache system data. Okay, we will wipe the vendor as well. We won't wipe the internal storage. We will see if it gets encrypted, then we will go ahead and do a format data. So first we need to go to install, select our OTG and select oxygenos. Okay, now remember, you do have a dedicated kernel, you do have a dedicated camera, the ANX camera, and you have the system and the vendor. So the flashing order goes as follows. First select the vendor, add more zip, and then select the system. Okay, once you've selected both, swipe to confirm flash. Now this flash will take anywhere between 2 to 4 minutes, so please be patient while that happens. Now always remember, it is essential to flash the vendor first. Alright, so now once everything is flashed, wipe cache and reboot system. Now the first boot will take anywhere between 1 to 2 minutes, but if it takes like more than 3-4 minutes or even 5 minutes, that means you might be in a boot loop. I like the Cyberpunk boot animation over there. So it is booting. Let's wait for it to boot up, and then we will boot back to TWRP. We will flash Magisk, and then we will flash their kernel, and I will also install their APK and show you what their kernel does. So we've been on this screen for quite some time and it is not booting up. So we will boot into recovery and we will do a format data, after which hopefully it should boot just fine. So press and hold and release the moment you see the logo and let it boot into Orange Fox. Okay, now these jagged folder names is what defines that it is in encrypted mode. So we will go to manage data, format data, type in yes, reboot system. So this time it should boot just fine. Now in this video and even in yesterday's video, the Lineage OS 18.1 video for the Pocophone F1, both the times I've actually shown in the video what a encryption decryption issue looks like. In fact, in yesterday's video I also went ahead and flashed the decrypt zip, but it didn't work. So let's wait for the phone to boot up. We will quickly set it up and then we will go ahead and do the remaining flashing. Alright, so just like that, we formatted data and we are on the setup screen. I'll quickly skip through everything and show you around. Alright, so just like that, we are on the home screen and everything is fine. So yeah, decryption, encryption is always an issue over here. Nonetheless, the oxygenos ROM looks beautiful and works beautifully as well. It is just that there are a few minor bugs. If they can be fixed, this is going to be honestly the perfect ROM. So we are nonetheless going to restart into TWRP now. Okay, now select OTG and over here go to OOS and first flash Magisk. Okay, once Magisk is flashed, you have to flash the Genos kernel. Alright, so after flashing Magisk and the kernel, we have booted into system and we have Magisk over here, as you can see. So over here you have to select install from storage, allow, and select. So over here in the file manager, select show internal storage and then select the USB drive, OOS, select the ANX camera. Now remember, you have to flash the ANX camera from Magisk, from within Magisk. That is when it will work fine. There you go. And then it will ask you to reboot again, so you just have to boot again. Now once this is rebooted, the only thing that is left to do is to flash the Genos APK. Okay, that is basically an app to manage the different profiles that this particular kernel for this particular ROM offers, and then you are set. There are a few quirks here and there which I will show you, but they have provided you with a workaround for most of the things. And if you don't want to experience the ultra high brightness that it spikes when unlocking the fingerprint, you can use face unlock. So as you can see, you do have the ANX camera over here. So go to app info over here, go to permissions and enable all the permissions first. Okay, once all permissions are allowed, you can open the camera. There you go, bam, it works perfectly fine. All the modes are available in the camera. If you're wondering, portrait is there. This 108 megapixel mode is just the default 48 megapixel mode, but more or less all the MIUI options are there and it looks like OnePlus. And if you can see, this is a very fluid and smooth ROM. Let me show you the Genos APK over here. That is basically the ROM APK. So let's go to OOS and Genos profile APK, allow. Okay, install. Okay, open. This will ask for root access, I believe. Yep, grant root access. So you have balance, you have performance, battery and gaming. Depending on your mode or depending on your needs, you can choose the mode. Balance works perfectly fine. So this is a quick way to install this particular ROM. You can also go to about and I can show you how this looks. It does say Snapdragon 855 Plus and the device name is OnePlus 7T Pro. Although this is a K20 Pro, but I'll tell you one thing. If you have the time and you don't really worry about flashing phones again and again, this is a ROM that you should definitely try because this team has put in a lot of effort. I used it for 2 to 3 days and I will revisit it again. But yes, this is a very good port. For gaming at least, this works amazingly good. If you can charge your phone every 2 to 3 hours while playing, then this is absolutely great. So this was a quick step-by-step guide to install oxygenos Cyberpunk edition on the K20 Pro. Let me know in the comment section how did you like it, and until the next one, this is Kailash signing off at Smartphone Tutorials. Keep smiling, take care, goodbye.